Hello, my name is Ma, and today we're going to be looking at the state of modules in the C++ standard, as well as how you can use it with CMake, with compilers such as MSVC and Clang. So the format of this video is a little bit different from my previous videos, in the sense that I will not be doing so much live coding today. I've actually prepared the code here for you already. So basically, I will just be talking about my own thoughts on the C++ modules feature and the support for it in the main compilers, or should I say the lack of support in the main compilers. First of all, what is a module? So if you've used any sort of like modern programming languages like, Python, Rust, I think Go as well has modules, doesn't it? You probably have come across this word before, and you probably know it as a collection of basically functions, classes, or variables or constants that you can include in other modules and sort of reuse code. It's very difficult to differentiate between modules and sort of include and source files in C++, but they kind of achieve the same thing, which is kind of like code reusability. Now, traditionally, C++ and C both use this idea of translation units when compiling the code. So in essence, if you're writing a library, for example, you'd be writing a header file where you have all your declarations, and then a source file or a C or C++ file where you have the actual function or class definitions. And what the compiler does is for every sort of source file, it will basically copy and paste all of the header includes that you've used, and it calls that a translation unit. And then with that whole translation unit, it will compile into an object file, which then will be passed on to the linker, where it will find function definitions defined in other object files and so on and so forth. And then it will generate either executable or that library, whether it's shared or static. That's what the linker does. Now, one main difference between modules and sort of like the header and source file combo is that whenever you have some sort of like include, like this one here, the preprocessor of the compiler is essentially just going to copy and paste whatever is in this header into whatever source file you're using there. And you can see how that becomes kind of wasteful. So it kind of like compiles that over and over again, depending on how many source files or translation units you're going to have in the end. But with modules in C++, this only really happens once, in the sense that the modules are only ever included kind of like once in whatever executable or library you use in the module. And I believe the compilers also create sort of like intermediate files where the module dependencies are declared, and they also generate things like, this module exports these functions and so on and so forth, which makes the compilation process faster than traditional compilation in C and C++. Now, there are other advantages of using modules compared to header and source file combos, such as if you're writing a library, for example, all the symbols are not exported by default. So you kind of have to say which classes or functions or variables and constants you want to make available for people, including that module, with this keyword export here, as you can see. Another really good advantage is that whatever macro you define in the module will also not be exported. It's local to that module only. And this is kind of a dig on the Visual Studio / MSVC compilers, where sometimes their libraries kind of leak macros. I'm talking about the min and max ones here, if you've ever used those ones. So a lot of things end up clashing, and the order of your includes do matter. But with modules, that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter the order you include. It all works the way you expect it to work. Now, before we actually go over the CMake that you need to actually work with modules, let's talk about the state of modules in C++. So part of my research for this video was reading articles over and over again on the internet regarding the modules. And by far the best one I found was by Kitware, where they have a full-on tutorial on how to actually use modules with CMake, and they also talked a little bit about the support. So let's start with the CMake support. CMake support for modules is not quite there just yet. It's still an experimental feature which you have to activate by kind of changing variables, sometimes even changing compiler flags manually here. And even though C++ 20, so 2020 was 3 years ago, this is still, as far as I understand, under development in CMake. And this is all because of the compiler's support for this particular paper here, paper P1689, which, as far as I understand from this article on the internet, is basically the standardization of these intermediate files that modules need to be compiled. And some compilers do actually already support it fairly well. So Microsoft, hats off to them, because MSVC has been supporting modules on the mainstream versions of the compiler, I think since 2020 or the end of 2020 or 2021. So it does work very well with MSVC. However, when you shift over to sort of like Linux builds and you're looking at GCC and Clang builds, these two don't really have as much support as MSVC does. So I was able to actually get modules working with Clang 16, and this is the mainstream version. And that seems to be the first version in Clang that actually supports the generation of these module intermediate files, and therefore you can actually use it with CMake. However, GCC is a different story. It seems like even the most recent versions, 13 and 14, don't really have support for modules at all. And if you do want to use modules in GCC, you're going to have to build it yourself, basically, by downloading one of the patches, which is actually mentioned on this article. So as you can understand, I'm not going to be going over how you can make it work with GCC in this video because it's actually quite difficult. So the bottom line here is, if you want to use modules and your own Windows, do use MSVC because it is by far the best compiler support that I can see at the moment. So working with modules with CMake and MSVC is not going to be difficult at all. If you're on Linux, I would recommend Clang 16, and the code shown here in this video is going to work for those two compilers that I mentioned there. And when it comes to further support of modules features in C++, such as the C++23 standard library modules, instead of having to use include IOStream, for example, there will be a module that you can simply use import with. That becomes even worse because, as you can see here, GCC does not support that at all. Clang 17 claims to support it partially, and MSVC, as I said here, does seem to support it kind of fully. So, you know, they are the best ones at the moment for module experimentation here. And this is another good link you can check, is the compiler support by the CPP reference. I'll leave all these links in the description so you can take a look for yourself. But now let's move over to the usage of modules with CMake in C++ and C++20. So let me just begin by quickly explaining what my project setup here is. So the idea for this project was to basically create a very simple library using modules in C++, and I called it my lib here, and a very simple executable, which will import that library that we've created, import that module that we've created into it, and then just use one of the functions in there. Now for the code, I basically just copied and pasted whatever was in here, because it was actually quite a good exercise from this kitware article here. So it just defines a class and a function called hello world, as well as the constructor and destructor of this class, and the definition of that hello world function. You can see that this is all in one file. You don't need a header and a source file with modules at all. You can just define it all in one file, even templates as far as I understand, and the compiler, you know, takes care of declarations and definitions for you. So the hello world function just says hello world, but funnily enough, we are using the include directive here because we don't yet have, as I said, that import std.call or whatever it is, except if you're on MSVC, and there are those modules available for you, but they're not going to be the same names as what MSVC has right now, as far as I know. This is just something that Microsoft has released. So if you want to use any of the standard library stuff, you still have to use include, and that include has to be kind of after the first module definition here. As you can see, the first line has to be, you know, module and then semicolon. This is just how you do it in C++. It's just the syntax. And then after the includes or whatever imports you've got here, we also have the name of the module as an export module mylib. So this essentially says that this file is going to be creating a mylib module. And for every function, every class that you want to actually make available for people, including your module, you have to put that export keyword in front of it. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to use it at all, just as a note there. And since the whole class has been exported, of course, the members are also exported by default. But if you leave the export keyword out here, you will not be able to use neither the class or obviously the member functions of that class. And then going over to our binary, we simply just have an import mylib here because this is what all you need. And the rest is basically just the same C++ as you've been writing forever, basically. So we just have an int main function here, which calls that class that we've defined inside mylib, and we just call hello world. And it's interesting that you can see a lot of errors here on VS Code. But just bear in mind that this is just VS Code. It does compile just fine. I believe VS Code hasn't quite got that CMake support for modules just yet because it's, you know, still an experimental feature. But, you know, you will get some errors if you're using VS Code, basically, even though they're not really errors. Now, going over to the main CMake list here, this is the important parts that I want to basically put in your head. The very first thing that you need is a CMake version 3.25 or above. As far as I know, 3.25 does support the experimental module feature, and then the one I'm using right now, which is I think is 3.26, also has the support. So, you know, this is the minimum version that you require. The next thing you need to do is to actually define the experimental C++ module behavior API here. I believe this variable probably just sets some internal state in CMake, saying how modules should be behaving in CMake, I guess. But this is pretty much just boilerplate code that you will be having here. Now, I've got this particular UID here, but it does vary between versions. So for example, if you're using 3.25, this will be a different value. And how do you know the value? Well, there is this link that you can actually use, which is again by Kitware, the guys behind CMake. And this article just, gives you that variable CMake experimental CMake API, module API here, and the value you need. Of course, I'm on my particular version here, so 3.26.1, I believe it is. But if you move over to just 25.0, you may see that value does change. So make sure you substitute the version on the URL with your version and then copy this value over. The next thing you need to define is this CMake experimental CXX module dynamic dependencies to 1 here. So basically this just tells CMake to instruct the compilers to actually look for those module files, as far as I understand, those intermediate files that it needs in order to find kind of module dependencies, functions, and so on and so forth. And as far as I know, this is pretty much it that you need for MSVC and Clang. Now going over to the actual sort of standard flags that you need here, of course you need CMake CXX standard set to 20 because modules are a C++ 20 feature, and you also probably want the CMake CXX extensions to off, and that's pretty much it for the actual boilerplate configuration. Now when it comes to adding for example a library or an executable using modules, you basically need a few extra things as well. So I'm just going to go over the library because this is the only different configuration that we have compared to normal CMake development. So you can see here I'm adding a library, and I'm not really saying which sources this library comprises of, because that is done on this target sources function call here in CMake, which basically just says that these files that I'm declaring here are part of a module. So this is pretty much the syntax to add files to your module in C++ on CMake right now, and you'll probably get a squiggly line saying that this is experimental if it works fine. But you can just ignore it for now. And compiling it, there's nothing different. Once you've set these things up, you've selected your correct compiler. So in my case, I'm using MSVC here. I don't know which version it is actually, but it's a fairly recent one. It just compiles just fine. And if I look over my build directory, I can go to my x86 debug, apologies, source, my bin, and then debug. And then I've got my bin.exe, and I'm not going to run this, it just says hello world, but it works just fine. Now I just want to say as well that everything that we've done so far here on this little coding session is going to be available in this GitHub repository here, so you can download this and try it out yourself. And this is pretty much it for the coding side of this video. Now some people have asked me before whether I personally use modules in C++, and my answer to that is no, not really. I mean, I do maintain a few C++ projects myself, which are kind of using C++ 20 and 23, and I can't really say that I've ever tried to use modules on these projects, just because the compiler support isn't there yet, and it's not really a mainstream practice at the moment. But will I use it in the future? Of course I will. Especially when I personally work with languages like Rust and Python at the moment, and I can definitely see the benefits of having proper modules in a language, and kind of like what problems it kind of gets rid of, which it's definitely a good thing to have, and it's good that C++ is sort of aspiring to be more modern in the recent standards. However, it is kind of sad that even GCC doesn't really support it yet, and I think it's kind of lacking in that feature, to be honest. But I can't wait for this to be more mainstream. I can't wait to be using modules everywhere, because I think it is going to be a good practice, and I think it is going to be kind of a shift in the way that people develop libraries with C++ now. So would I recommend using modules in C++? And the answer is of course. Why would you not learn something that is essentially going to become a practice anyway? So I'm going to leave this video here. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and give the video a like. Stay tuned for more videos like this in the channel, and that's it. Bye bye guys.